Kia ora, good morning. I've been up for a bit, obviously. Hang on, I'm just having a sip of my second cup of coffee. I've just been talking to my boy, putting in a food order when I get paid next. I'm literally going to be making a food ferry delivery to the other side of town. Anyway, um, the thumbnail. I've talked about this before with the School of Alchemy. Um, all my students, any student that I take on to teach alchemy to, Harry Potter but real, as I keep saying, um, they're going to have to sign legal waivers. They're going to have to sign NDAs. They're going to have to sign legal waivers that protect my products, my name, the school brand, the magic, everything. So that if anyone tries to copy or sell anything that is in their magic bags, I'll sue them within an inch of their life for the simple fact that if you've seen what I've been posting this morning, what I do isn't anything to muck about with. You don't want to muck about with what I am or what I do because it is very real and it is very dangerous in the wrong hands. And if you see what I've been posting this morning, you're going to know what I'm talking about. But the thing is that there's a lot of darkness in this world that needs to be cleaned up. And I'm one person. And when I tried to do this before, I failed miserably because the students ended up destroying a lot of innocent people's lives, including my children, my sons, and getting involved and bringing my name into things that are connected to evil. And now I've had to come in and clean up the mess. And I really didn't want to have to do it, but I don't have a choice because I created those monsters. So I have to be the ones to teach them a lesson, Baba Yaga style. So because they tried to steal from me, because they tried to copy me, because they tried to usurp me and assume that they knew better because they read some spell books and some people online said some things and stuff like that, um, they're now learning a very harsh lesson that their teacher is not the person to mess with. You do not mess with the occult. You don't F about when it comes to alchemy. This isn't a game. When you are granted access to people's spiritual development, to their souls, when you get to decide their fate in the course of their destiny, when you can point them out and say to God, remove them from life, and He does, that's not the sort of thing you want to mess about with. But I do it in the name of righteousness. I do it in the name of justice. I do it in the name of all that is good and holy for the sake of humanity, not because I make money, not because I'm famous, not because any of that, because I'm none of those things. People keep assuming that I monetize this channel. I don't make a single penny from this channel, and when it comes time for me to qualify for it, I won't. Still, there are some things that you don't take money for, and teaching people life lessons like this, teaching them the harsh reality of why you don't mess about with the occult, isn't something you really should be charging for. But now that the cogs are turning and people in positions of power are starting to be removed from their thrones, the cleanup is beginning. And it means that once they are gone, I will come in with my cleaning crew and we will sweep up and disinfect and bleach this planet within an inch of its life energetically to remove the negativity that has been stuck to this planet for centuries because of the ancestors of the people that we are now having to deal with. And I need to make sure that the people who come to my school can be trusted. See, whereas before, I just let anyone join. until I started figuring out not everybody there should be there. None of them who were there should be there. I had one student tell me quite openly that sometimes she watches me do my work and she wants to scratch my face and poke my eyes out because I bring out in her such a hatred. So these are people who I should never have tried to teach what I could do. But at the same time, I was still learning myself. But now I am the master. I am the Grand Empress, Fairy Godmother. I am the Empress of my throne. I rule my empire. It's just starting to come into fruition now. I could start my school long before I get my foundation. Um, but I want to have a place where my students can come from all over the world and stay with us for a few weeks and take these courses. And then, even though I'm not going to be there teaching every single class, um, I will be teaching some classes personally. I will come down to the house of Alchemy, to the School of Alchemy, because it'll be on the same property, and I will teach personal classes myself personally where the students can have one-on-one with me, and I'll take them on excursions and things like that. But for the most part, I'm going to have teachers, and like I said, I've been making a list, and I've been making this list, I've been putting this list together for well over 10 years. I've been watching, and I have a list of male and female students, male and females on the internet that I want to offer a teaching position to. So, and all of them are in America, so they won't have far to travel, and they'll make good money, and they'll get their name recognized for the gifts that they deserve to have. And these are people who, trust me when I say, their morals are as tight as mine. These are very honest people who don't mind pulling you up when you are misbehaving and taking this sort of stuff for granted. And that's exactly what I'm looking for, because once I teach my teachers what they need to teach the students, I'm leaving my students' spiritual development into the hands of these teachers that I'm going to be trusting with everything. It's not that I'm giving them the keys, but I will be unlocking the door for them and letting them have access, if you know what I mean. But I will be watching everything. And then for specific courses and classes, I will come down and teach personally, especially when it comes to using my products. And when my students leave, and they will go through a rigorous test before they're even allowed to come near my school, the Amber Wilkinson School of Witchcraft, she just would, this would be everything to her. This would be everything to my Amber. And of course, we're going to film some of the first sign there. Um, I I think I want to change the name from the first sign, the resurrection of the ninth element, to something like the first sign, um, the fall of Abizu, something like that. But anyway, when they leave, they will be given their carpet bag of magic, and it will come with a legal waiver that they will have to sign so that they don't try and sell it, resell it, or pass it on to the deceivers or anything like that. Like I will make sure that my lawyers are on top of everything when it comes to writing up um, what they're allowed to do and not allowed to do with their carpet bag of magic. But each carpet bag, because I need to employ like a team of sewers and seamstresses and that will know how to um, copy it, like do our bag, that do the pattern, but each bag will be individual to the student. So they will be identified by their bag, and when they have their graduation, they will be holding up their little bags of magic, and in their little bags of magic, they will have everything that they need to go out into the world and help me do what needs to be done. They can go back to their countries, they can go to the places where death and tragedy and war and suffering and bloodshed and that has taken place, from tragic car accidents to natural disasters to wars to whatever, paranormal activity, and they will be able to use everything that's in my bag to take care of the problem, including biorhythmic field generators, which I will show them how to do. I will have the organic one, they will have the one that requires batteries or electricity, um, which in itself is a high honour. So um, I will be giving them everything they need, including copies of the Torah, the Bible, the Quran. Um, I'm going to have people come in like um, like priests and imams, and so that so that they can come and talk about how they deal with paranormal activity. People of faith. I'm trying to remember what you call it, rabbi. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Have them come in so that when they get copies, because obviously not everything they're going to be dealing with is going to be responding to a god. They might be atheists, they might have been devil worshippers who didn't believe in that sort of thing. But in that carpet bag of magic, we will have everything covered. Just like in the Art of Creation animated series, everything will be covered so that they're not having to scramble, because you have to bear in mind they might be going into a situation where they think it's one thing and realize it's something completely different. And they will even come with me. My paranormal private eyes kids show that I was talking about the other day. They will come with me to when we go out on excursions and that, so that I can show them how to use their products. They'll be working in the field with me on my show. Remember, I said I'll do the growing up adult version of the kids show. So my students, they're going to be brought into a whole new world. Um, Hang on. So I'm just having a sip of my coffee. So yeah, so then they'll have, when they need their rehua spray refilled, their tane clay, obviously they'll get it sent to them anywhere in the world at a discount. All their fees that they pay to come and stay, because obviously we're not going to be teaching them for free. Um, they're going to be learning centuries worth of ancient knowledge. I will get, I think it's the Algonquin or Chippewa Algonquin, the Native American, well, Indigenous people that are going to be around the area that I'm hoping to land in. And I'll get them to come and they can teach about, about their side of it as well. So I'm going to be bringing in a lot of teachers. By which time I'll have my tarot cards and my folk deck designed and made and ready to go. And they will be given, my cards and all of that sort of thing that will go inside their carpet bag of magic. And then when they need to refill, like the Tane clay and stuff like that, obviously we'll send it to them for free, but they'll get like a massive discount. Um, so yeah, there'll be like a whole members club. So any new talismans that I work on, they'll get the talismans. They'll get sent the talismans and stuff like that for being in the membership and anything new. And then obviously, if we have to do something big, I'll bang the drum and there'll be a call to arms to see how many of them can turn up and help. And yeah, all of that sort of thing. Well, like when we have our big occult festival every year, every summer, sort of towards the end of summer, beginning of autumn, we'll have like a week long um, occult festival where there will be no pentagrams and people doing spells and witchcraft and you know, not the bad stuff. It'll be where you get to come and sell your reading, like do readings for people, and sell your jewelry and your talismans and all of that sort of thing. But everyone who signs up to a stall will have to pass the test because obviously we're not going to be selling anything that's dead or that involves pentagrams and grave soil and you know what I mean, the black magic. No black magic. We're we're promoting. Amber and I talked about this before she died. Um, the occult sciences, alchemy, and elemental witchcraft, and all of that sort of thing. So you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so we'll have a whole festival because then we can all come together. They can make some money. They can get exposure for their gifts and talents and all that sort of thing. But it's also a great way of teaching people the truth about the importance of not taking this stuff for granted. But at the same time, it can still be fun and exciting and funny. Because trust me when I say, when I go out and make my shows, um, there will be a lot of laughter. I'm not comfortable on camera. I'm not comfortable with an audience, and my coping mechanism is comedy. So when I'm uncomfortable or nervous, I crack jokes, but it lightens the mood, and it is really important. It's really important when you go to places like that. You know, like when I go to prisons like that, run that shut down prison in Tennessee that I'm hoping to film my exorcism movie in. Please stop the voices. Um, and yeah, these penitentiaries and all that. That I was just watching a video the other day of one of them. They're horrible places. When we go to places like that, so that we can cleanse them and lighten the load, um, I guarantee you that there is going to be some laughs. There it will be, and we're going to get spooked and we're going to jump. And when you hear a sudden noise you're not expecting to hear, and that, of course, you're going to jump. Doesn't mean it's a ghost, But the thing is that it will be funny. I'll make it funny. I know how to bring humour to death and to the afterlife and all of that because it's just who I am. So we'll have a great time. It will, I'll have my bus driver because obviously I'm going to have my own bus service just for the school. So our bus drivers will be able to drive us to certain locations, and we might even have to stay overnight in some of these places because if we're situated in New York and we've got to go to Tennessee or Virginia or Kentucky or anywhere like that, we're going to have to stay overnight. A couple of times. We might have to stay overnight for a couple of days. Um, because there's going to be a lot to see, and I'll put on like a whole excursion for my students and that, and it's going to be fun for them, and it'll be all expenses paid. So when they come to my school, they'll be given like a schedule that'll say, you're going to learn this, that, and we're going to go here, and we're going to do this, and these are the costs, right? So then they turn up, and they don't have to pay for anything. We'll even put on their meals and stuff, and they don't have to pay for anything other than stuff that they want to buy, when they're milling about. So it'll be, they'll know upfront how much everything's going to cost, and it will cover the cost of like our bus drivers and all of that sort of thing, and our film crew. And, they can even film everything themselves with their phones and put them up on our channel, on my channel. They'll be invited to have their own channels and do their own paranormal investigation shows and all of that and put them on my channel. So for my students, it will be 100% exclusive access to the sort of thing that the Illuminati would wet themselves to have access to. I am like a anyone who practices black magic's wet dream. So um, I'm really excited. And like I said, I could do it before I even built my school, but I want to be able to have the ambience of that setting of having the house there. And I've even been looking at houses that are run down, derelict. My boys and I even came up with a whole idea for Halloween based on an urban legend. Like we wanted to start a whole urban legend and just see where people went with it. But I'm not going to go into details with that. But I have been looking up places, houses and that are derelict where the properties are for sale, that are perfect to turn into my school, that would be just glorious for Halloween when we gave it over to the haunted house. And I bring in my architect and my construction crew and tell them what it is that I need from it and how it needs to be on the inside, so that we can, when it's not being used at a school, we can turn it into the haunted house. And the really cool thing is, my son was actually saying that one of his friends in America has just started working on, just discovered a love of animatronics and working on engineering and animatronics. And I said to my son, "Oh, I wonder if he wants to come along and come and work at the school, because we'll have an animatronics department, won't we?" My first Halloween, I promised my son would be an animatronics themed one. We just started working on the storyline when all hell broke loose in 2022. But I promised him, and I'm a woman of my word, that our first haunted Halloween would be like dedicated to FNAF, not involving FNAF, but dedicated to, inspired by FNAF. So I remember this is how far back we were planning this. He had come up with a role for my husband Martin to play. That's how long we've been planning this for. I was still with Martin when my sons and I were planning our first Halloween night, and it being animatronics. And he was saying, and then we'll have Martin do this, and that's how long we've been working on it. But yeah, we had to put all of that aside to deal with all this shit. But we're coming out the other end now, and I can see New York in sight, and I'm getting so excited. Everything's starting to fall into place. I'm so close, so close. So the thumbnail is Mary Poppins, the ultimate fairy godmother, um, written about the author's auntie who, when she used to come to visit, she just thought she was magic. Um, they'll be given their own individual bags of magic, and it'll be full of everything they need. And their teachers will come along and show them how to use specific things for specific things. Um, and yeah, getting everyone involved, all religions, Jewish, Christian, Catholic, Islam, Indigenous. We'll have Hmong, um, all of it. We'll all have them come, and the students will learn, just so that they can be prepared for all and every eventuality. Because, like I said, I know from first-hand experience, you go into a place thinking that you're going to experience one kind of thing and it ends up being something completely different. And I want to make sure that when I send my students out into the world, they're armed with everything they need so there's no scrambling to find something at the last minute. It's all based on what I use and it works. And then, like I said, their bags will be individual to them. They will be identified by their bag. People will know who they are by their bag. And I'll either do it one of two ways. I'll either let them pick their bag or I will pick them for them, but they will be, suited for males and females. I kind of like the idea of them choosing their own bag because then it gives my male students um, the option if, like, say, if they're gay and they want something a bit more feminine, or they're as straight as as straight as an arrow. I was going to say as straight as a dice, as straight as an arrow, but they don't want anything with floral on it because obviously they're going to be made out of carpet. I'm going to recycle carpets and rugs and that to turn them into their magic bags. So yeah, so I like the idea of having them there on display and then letting them pick their bags. So I need people who can sew, and I need to design what I want my bag to look like, but I already know what I want my bag to look like. And they'll look like Dr. Gloucester. Dr. Foster went to Gloucester, that's it. It looked like a doctor's bag, but, big enough to carry everything that they need. Dr. Foster went to Gloucester. Yeah. So, it's getting exciting. I can't wait. I've got like a whole thing set up for my students, like how I want to have the school. And like I said, I'll come and mosey down when it comes to the important things. And I had said I would love to dress. Like when I come down to teach them, I would love to be able to dress in Victorian style inspired fashion and Victorian inspired clothing. Talk to my sister about, the way that I want to dress when I come down to teach them. I have this specific look in my head. Um, and I just, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So I've kind of been hesitant to open the door to let people see what it is I really am, what it is I really can do, because so many people try to copy me and steal from me, and I have to spend my whole time cleaning up their mess when everything goes wrong. But they can deal with the consequences now. I don't care. I'm moving on to, I've got kids to save and students to find and teachers to employ and a school to build. So I'm going on to other things now. I'm letting Odin and God and all of that, I'm letting their mythologies deal with the consequences of their sins. And I'm just zeroing in on upstate New York and I can't wait. I'm so excited. I just can't even. And I get to employ a lot of people, and we're going to have our little buses. I even know what I'm going to put on the design of my buses, the same buses that'll be used to take families to my boys in the inmate program and the comic book program will be the same buses that pick the kids up from the airport, when they come from all over the world, and pick up our tourists that have booked holidays with us and that. We'll have like a whole travel agents that they can book through, and I get to employ a lot of people, and I can't wait. I'm excited. And then, God willing, if I am able to build schools in other countries, my travel agency will be able to do like a whole membership thing there as well. It's something that I put to King Charles and Vladimir Putin ages ago, when I said, if you let me build here, if you come on board with this and that, we could do a whole thing, and then kids would be able to have the opportunity to be billeted all over the world. Kids pulled out of poverty and horrible situations would then have the opportunity to learn, like in France or Russia or Great Britain, and that who have come from um, Brazil or Siberia or inner city New York. What an experience! And then allow people who are members to my travel ship, to my travel club, they'd be able to stay at the different foundations all around the world and like tick off the travel bucket list. I had got like a whole thing, but if I only get one school, I'm certainly not going to complain. I will not complain if I only get one school, but that one school is going to be banging. That one foundation will be banging. I'm just hoping that I do a good enough job that other countries will say, hey, can you come over here and build here too? We like what you're doing and we want to be a part of it. Because either way, I'm going to make New York a lot of money. I'm going to be bringing a lot of tourists to New York. I'm going to be doing a lot for American tourism. I'm going to be able to help fix what Donald Trump broke in America, helping the veterans, helping the Indigenous people, helping immigrants, helping unemployed people, helping their children, helping business, paying taxes, creating jobs, helping the broken, helping the lost, helping the faithless, helping those who gave up, helping those who see no hope. I'll be able to come along and just wipe it all clean for them. And then if I do a good enough job, like I said, hopefully other countries will say, can you come and do that here? We want what you're doing here. And then I can say, yep, but you have to sign up to the international agreement where we can place children with you from all over the world. You all have to take kids from all over the world, and you have to sign up to our travel club. So people can sign up to the travel club and see the countries that we have on offer based on where we've got the schools. And then they'll be able to stay at my hotels at those schools and then do like a potluck. This year, you're going to Burkina Faso. This year, you're going to Scotland. This year, you're going to Moscow. This year, you're going to Venice, wherever. I'm just randomly making up names. Like, I'm just picking it off the top of my head. This year, you're going to Melbourne. So, yeah, I can't wait. I've got just, my empire is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The more I can see everything coming into view, and I'm so excited. I'm going to be able to do so much for America. I My veterans program, the George Callahan Veterans Trust, and oh, discover new talent and take over Hollywood, take over Disney, do it better. Family values, family entertainment. Christian America will love what I do, even if they don't like the occult. Um, I'm the example of what happens when you understand God the right way. And then you can still go to church and worship your crucifixes and all that sort of thing. I don't. I don't like crucifixes. From an occult point of view, they're not. They're bad. They don't help expand your faith. It shuts it down. Crucifixes shut it down. They execute growth. So yeah. Anyway, just opening the door a little more and letting you see what's on the other side. Just get ready, America, because I have a feeling that when I get there, I'm landing with quite the bang. I'll be landing with the force of a comet. I can feel it. And then I'll gather everyone together that I need, and we're going to help rebuild America in a way that you'll understand why you had to go through the Trump administration. Um, the Trump administration is your trial by fire to make sure that laws are put in place so that him and his administration and his oligarchy friends and all that can never, ever, 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 ever happen again. He was your lesson not to take elections for granted. Same with Starmer and that. Um, you had to be taken to the brink to get the kick up the arse you needed not to take America's freedom for granted. Your forefathers went through hell. You know, the people who, your settlers, your pioneers, and that they went through hell to give you the rights and privileges that you have that no other country in the world was ever blessed to have. Um, but you took it for granted because you put too much faith in the people you elected. You trusted them, and they all, every single one of them, let you down. Every single president from the beginning is the reason why America is in the trouble they're in now, including Obama, including Clinton, all of them, because all of them made horrendous mistakes. But they knew it, and that's why they wrote the Constitution. That's why they wrote the Constitution. They knew that some of them were going to come along and make horrendous mistakes, and they wanted to make sure that you were protected from all of those mistakes. So after Trump and his administration are removed and all of his little rich friends and that are held accountable, and they will be held accountable, it's your opportunity to wipe the slate clean and start again. And I'll be there at the beginning. I'll be there to help you in my own little way. And then I'll have my students and my teachers and that there, you know, when we have our festivals, and you'll be able to come and have guidance and have our, card readings and all of that. And we'll do it the right way because I'll make sure the right people are put in charge of your new beginning, your rebirth. We'll walk you through it gently, and I'll get the help of rabbis and imams and indigenous people and shaman and priests and ministers, and we'll all come together because it's going to take you about 20 years to recover from what you're about to be pulled out of. You've been through quite a shock. They've been causing natural disasters on purpose. They've been causing pandemics on purpose. They've been killing your farmlands and messing with your food and your medicines and all of that on purpose. But you had to see it with your own eyes to believe it. And now that you've seen it, the truth can't be denied. Now that you're admitting it all and you're all realizing, oh, and the thing is, I trusted him too. I was defending him. I thought when I was locked up, he was one of the people I was dying for until I saw the truth, until those plane crashes. And then I asked, because I was humiliated that I was publicly defending Lucifer, but then I was told it's because I was the bait. I was used as bait. um, but now I'm recorrecting my mistake and I'm helping to bring him down, and he knows it. If you see what I've been posting this morning, he knows it. And then once he's gone and Musk is gone, all the rest will fall. So then, because Trump and Musk and my ex-husband Chris are the trifecta of stopping me from getting out of here and doing God's work. And with Trump and Musk going down, Chris will be going down as well. And then I can leave, and then I'll come to you if you'll accept me. Apparently you're going to accept me with open arms, according to the prophecy. So, you know, and then I can walk you through it, and we'll be there, me and my staff, me and my kids, me and my foundation, my services. you'll have jobs, you'll have taxes being paid, you'll have everything legal and above board, you'll have access to whatever you need, and then I can do my job and clearing everything energetic wise, starting with the 13 original states, and then we'll sweep across America and clean it all for you with the help of my students and the stuff that I'm putting out there. I'm going to be creating a lot of jobs in my little corner of the world. um, I'm going to be worth the investment to any investor who thinks she's somebody I want to put my money into and not SpaceX. So yeah, I'll be there at the beginning, and I'll get my little family of freaks, geeks, nerds, dorks, and weirdos together, and we'll take you into the new world. Um, and I'll hold your hand every step of the way. You just got to let me in. I just got to get justice first. Then you got to let me in, me, my sister, and my nephews, and God willing, my sons as well. And then we'll come over and let me work my magic and see what I can do, because I'm building quite the empire that America will be able to lay claim to. So I'm going to go and finish my toast now. But I've said it then and I'll say it now. I've got your back, America. Don't worry. I've got your back. And once I'm there, I need to reach out to these people that I have on my list that I'd like to invite as teachers, and invite people on my list as guest readers and stuff. Um, and then we'll get the show going. We'll get the ball rolling. So it's going to be so exciting. I just have to work out like how long each course is, like I reckon I'll be able to do, depending on how long it's going to take for each Halloween thing to, I reckon they're probably going to need at least 3 months. So I can offer classes for at least 6 months of the year, maybe nine, because I want to try and have them like in increments of like where they come and stay for 8 weeks. So I could I could, including obviously the festival, the week long festival. So I'd have to work it out logistically, but I'd like to have them for at least 8 weeks because they've got a lot to learn, and I will show them how to make potions and elixirs and things like that. I'll show them how to work with herbs and plants and flowers and soil and all of that sort of thing. I will be showing them proper alchemy. Um, so because sometimes when you go on investigations, you get called to pick things that are growing in the garden or pick things that are growing on the trees and stuff. Like, you get permission, you get asked to do it, and there's ways you have to go about it. When you take a leaf from a branch or a leaf, a branch from a tree, even like these things that you have to do that you're completely unprepared for, that you won't have in your bag, but you'll have permission to use when you're out and about. So I need to show them how to do it. And America is littered with abandoned schools where horrible things happened, and orphanages and sanitariums and penitentiaries and hospitals and all of that, where things like that are going to happen. They'll have their animal totem oils in their little kite. That's what, kits, kite, flex bags, the Māori flex bags, they're kite. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can see it all so clearly now. And I put up my, I worked on I just thought, I wonder what would happen if I did this, because I've been working on my sausage rolls, and I've got 4 kinds of sausage rolls that I've worked on, and I did this other one the other day, and oh my god, I think I've hit the jackpot of flavors. Hang on, I need a sip. think this one I worked on, the herb and garlic one, the one I worked on the other day, I think people are going to love. My boyfriend in my dream wasn't the boyfriend with no face who said that Americans were going to love my circus burgers. I think because remember in the dream it was food fairy delivery. I was delivering his food fairy delivery, and I'm going to do a food fairy delivery for my boys the next time I get paid. And they're going to try out these sausage rolls. I just oh my I can't stop thinking about them. They're going to be quite addictive, and I'm going to be selling them at my bakery, Mama Bear's Kitchen Cafe and Bakery. And the cool thing is, if these end up popular, I can open Mama Bear Kitchen Cafe and bakeries all over America, all over the world. Um, the same with like my wellness centre. I could even open up my school of alchemy, but I'm a little bit have a bit of trepidation with that one. But because I need to be able to keep an eye on it all. So yeah, I'm so excited. And then all my products at the Alchemist Cavern, I can absolutely open Alchemist Caverns as stores all over America and all over the world. Even the Alchemist Tavern, my pubs, I could open them up all over America and all over the world as well. So yeah, my veterans trust. I want to veterans who are suffering from PTSD and all that. I want to be able to sign them up to my animal conservation program, where we partner with, like in the Congo, how they have the people protecting the gorillas, send them out to help, offer our services to help protect the gorillas as like a healing program for the veterans. Um, Monitoring polar bears, protecting orangutans, elephants, tigers, that sort of thing, working with other countries who have these conservation programs, and offer our services where we would send them for free and make, because I want to be philanthropic, so I want to make donations to animal conservation programs, African safaris, to stop people hunting big game and all of that. Because if you're talking about veterans, they know how to use weapons and stuff, and they can work on the patrols and offer more hands on deck. So all sorts of things going on behind the scenes. It might look like I'm a puppy chasing its tail, but it's really not. It's just that I'm juggling a lot of balls at once, um, because I've got a lot to do and I've got a lot to build and a lot to create, and I can't just focus on one thing at a time. Otherwise, I get too immersed, and if I did everything myself, there's not going to be work for anyone else to do. So I do a little bit of everything. I'm juggling, spinning a lot of plates, but I know exactly what I'm doing because I'm organised. So I'm going to go and finish my breakfast. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Mwah.